Madison was engaged with the Constitutional Convention at two levels. Firstly, as the strategist, bringing it about. He was the individual who really brought George Washington to the convention, and that made every other state take it seriously. Secondly, he seized the agenda. He understood that the 13 states needed to be formed into a single union, and he brought to the convention a deep study of attempts at self-government, and he brought ideas that really made the framing of the Constitution a success.
Madison's Virginia plan also proposed that Congress would have a veto power over state laws. Madison felt that this would keep the states from encroaching on the federal government, it would keep the states from encroaching on one another, and it would protect the rights of minority groups within individual states from tyranny by the majority. One more interesting provision in Madison's Virginia plan, he wanted to create something called a Council of Revision. This would join the President and all the Supreme Court justices in one body that would review all legislation passed by Congress for constitutionality before it became law. Madison failed to get the Council of Revision, and so instead what we get today is judicial review, where the Supreme Court will rule on the constitutionality of laws through court cases after the laws have been passed.
When the founding generation talks about a government in the hands of the people, it does refer to adult white men, to a fairly small proportion of the population. But understand that the politically active, politically empowered population of the 1780s and 1790s is vastly larger than that of the pre-revolutionary generation, when most colonies had very specific property qualifications, fairly high property qualifications for voting, which prevented large numbers of people, even free white men, from participating in political life. By the 1790s, by the middle of the 1790s, almost all of those property qualifications have been lowered to a very low level, or they've been eliminated altogether, allowing all free white men to participate in public life. Now, obviously, at this point, women can't participate actively in public life. African Americans are, even if they're free men, not enslaved, can't participate in public life. Native Americans don't participate in public life. But the sphere of people participating in public life was growing dramatically in the 1780s and 90s, and it would continue to grow throughout the 19th century and into our own time. The political empowerment that has occurred over the last 200 years is a consequence of the basic ideals of the American Revolution working themselves out.